Hello, my dear friend. Have you ever felt that nagging brain fog, that frustrating moment when a name is right on the tip of your tongue but just won't come out? It's a feeling so many of us know, and it can spark a quiet fear about our future, our independence. But what if I told you that a key part of this puzzle might be hiding in plain sight, right inside your medicine cabinet, in a common pill you take for allergies or sleep? Today, we're going to uncover this hidden risk and, more importantly, find a clear path to protecting our precious minds. Oh, and before we dive in, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'd love to know where you're watching from. Comment with your city, and I might give you a shout out in our next video. It's a story I hear all too often. A simple nagging issue pops up. Maybe it's seasonal allergies, a bout of insomnia, or even an overactive bladder. You reach for a common, trusted remedy, something you've probably used for years. It seems perfectly harmless, a quick fix to improve your daily quality of life. Yet underneath the surface, this seemingly innocent habit could be quietly chipping away at the very foundation of your cognitive health, setting you on a path you never intended to travel. This journey we're on is all about achieving longevity with vitality, and that means being aware of these hidden pitfalls. The truth is, many of us are unknowingly taking part in a daily ritual that could be accelerating memory loss. It's an unsettling thought, I know, but knowledge is our greatest power. We're talking about a specific class of drugs that are incredibly widespread, available both over the counter and by prescription. These medications promise relief from everyday ailments, but may carry a steep unspoken price for our long-term well-being. Our goal here is to empower you, to give you the tools and information you need to make the best choices for your healthy aging journey. So, let's pull back the curtain on this mystery. The medications we need to be so cautious about belong to a class called anticholinergics. It sounds like a mouthful, I know, but the concept is actually quite simple. These drugs work by blocking a vital brain chemical, a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. Think of acetylcholine as the spark plug for your brain. It's the messenger that allows your brain cells to talk to each other, firing off the signals that help you learn, remember, and even just pay attention to the world around you. Now imagine what happens when you throw a wrench into that intricate communication system. That's precisely what these anticholinergic drugs do. By blocking acetylcholine, they weaken the signals between your neurons. Over time, this constant interference can have profound consequences, not just for your memory, but for the physical structure of your brain itself. This isn't just about feeling a little groggy, it's about a fundamental disruption to the systems that support an active mind and a vibrant life. And here's the kicker. These drugs are everywhere. You'd be astonished at how many common products fall into this category. The popular allergy medication Benadryl, for instance, is a potent anticholinergic. So are many over-the-counter sleep aids that millions of people rely on, like Tylenol PM or Unisom. They promise a good night's rest, but they might be compromising your daytime cognitive sharpness and your future health in the process. True well-being comes from solutions that don't create bigger problems down the line. The list doesn't stop there, not by a long shot. Some medications prescribed for anxiety, like hydroxyzine, which you might know by the brand names Atarax or Vistaril, also belong to this class. And then there are the drugs for bladder control, which are incredibly common among seniors. Medications like Datrapan or Detrol are frequently prescribed to manage an overactive bladder, yet they operate using this same brain-blocking mechanism. It's a classic case of the solution to one problem inadvertently causing another. Even treatments for digestive issues aren't exempt. If you've ever been prescribed a drug like Bentyl for irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, you've been taking an anticholinergic. The same goes for those little scopolamine patches people use for motion sickness on a cruise. It's a vast web of medications, some needing a doctor's note and others available for anyone to grab off a shelf. But they all share this same fundamental effect on our brain's chemistry, impacting our quest for happiness and independence. The scientific evidence backing this up is frankly staggering and more than a little concerning. One massive review, a meta-analysis that looked at data from over 1.5 million people, came to a stark conclusion. It found that using these anticholinergic drugs is an independent risk factor for developing both all-cause dementia and, specifically, Alzheimer's disease. This wasn't a small, isolated study. It was a comprehensive look at a huge population, making the findings incredibly difficult to ignore for anyone serious about their health. Another deeply worrying study, this one a meta-analysis of 21 different trials, drilled down into the timeline of this risk. It revealed something truly shocking. Using one of these medications for just 3 months, only 90 days, was enough to increase the risk of dementia by an estimated 46% compared to those who didn't use them. Think about that. A single season of taking what seems like a harmless pill for allergies or sleep could have such a dramatic impact on our future cognitive longevity. And some research has gone even further, looking directly at what these drugs do to the brain's physical form. A study published in the prestigious journal JAMA Neurology used advanced brain imaging and metabolic scans. The results were clear as day. The use of anticholinergic medications was directly associated with increased brain atrophy. That means a literal shrinkage of the brain and widespread brain dysfunction. This isn't just about how you feel, it's about tangible, measurable damage. This concept of how our body's systems interact is so vital for our long-term health. We dive much deeper into these connections in our guide, Wellness and Aging: Valuable Tips for Seniors. You can find the link in the first pinned comment if you're curious to learn more about building these healthy habits. Understanding these links is a cornerstone of maintaining not just health, but a high quality of life as we navigate our later years, ensuring we stay sharp and engaged. So, how does this happen? Inside our brain, acetylcholine has a specific job. It binds to special sites on our neurons called muscarinic receptors. This connection is what facilitates that crucial cell-to-cell communication. Anticholinergic drugs work by physically blocking these receptors. In the brain's memory centers, like the hippocampus and the cerebral cortex, this blockade is devastating. It's like putting up a roadblock on the brain's busiest highway, slowing everything down and eventually causing permanent traffic jams. The short-term effects are often dismissed as simple side effects. A bit of brain fog, some confusion, maybe slower reaction times. But with long-term consistent use, these temporary issues can evolve into something far more permanent. The brain, deprived of its essential communication network, begins to weaken and even shrink. This process is especially dangerous for seniors because our natural levels of acetylcholine already tend to decrease with age. We're essentially pouring fuel on a fire. Taking these drugs is like deliberately cutting off one of your brain's main lines of communication. The longer that line is down, the more the surrounding infrastructure begins to decay. It's a slow, silent process, but the cumulative damage is what ultimately leads to the devastating symptoms of dementia. Understanding this mechanism is the first step toward reclaiming control over our own healthy aging process. If this is making sense to you, I'd be so grateful if you'd tap that like button to let me know. Now, let's be crystal clear. I am not saying these medications should be banned or that they are pure evil. They have their place. Taking a single Benadryl for a severe allergic reaction or for a couple of sleepless nights is not ideal, but it's unlikely to cause lasting harm. The real danger lies in the chronic day-in, day-out use. It's the person who takes a Tylenol PM every single night to fall asleep for months or even years on end who is truly at risk. The problem we need to tackle is the normalization of long-term use for chronic conditions. We want to avoid taking these pills every day for extended periods, turning a short-term fix into a long-term threat to our well-being. This is particularly crucial for those of us who are already at a higher risk. If you're over 60, or if you're already noticing some memory issues, your brain is more vulnerable to this chemical assault. It's about being smart with our health choices. And there's another hidden danger, the cumulative effect. It's incredibly common, and I'm sure Dr. Henry sees this in his practice all the time, for a person to be taking more than one of these drugs simultaneously without realizing the combined impact. A person might be on hydroxyzine for anxiety, while also taking Benadryl for sleep, and maybe even Ditropan for their bladder. Each drug blocks a little bit of acetylcholine, but together they're launching a full-scale shutdown of the brain's communication systems. This compounding effect is where the risk for our independence truly skyrockets. Each pill adds to what we call the anticholinergic burden. It's like adding more and more weight onto a scale until it finally breaks. This is why a full review of all your medications, both prescription and over-the-counter, is so absolutely critical. We have to see the whole picture to protect our quality of life and ensure we continue to enjoy our happiness for decades to come. So, what's our action plan? First, and this is your homework for today, I want you to go to your medicine cabinet. Pull out everything, both your prescriptions and the over-the-counter pills, lotions and patches. Look at each one. Your mission is to find out if any of them are anticholinergic. A quick search online with the drug's name and the word anticholinergic will often give you the answer, or you can make a list to ask your pharmacist. Once you have your list, the next step is the most important one of all. Please, and I cannot stress this enough, do not stop taking any of your prescribed medications on your own. Abruptly stopping some of these drugs can cause its own set of problems. This is not a journey to take alone. The next step is to schedule a conversation with your trusted physician, Dr. Henry, to discuss your findings and your concerns. This conversation with Dr. Henry is your key to unlocking a safer path forward. Your goal is to ask one simple question. Are there any safer, non-anticholinergic alternatives for my condition, especially since I need to be on this long term? You are your own best advocate. By asking this question, you are taking a powerful, proactive step in safeguarding your active mind and promoting your own longevity. Let's talk about some of those wonderful, safer alternatives. If sleep is your primary challenge, there is a world of options that don't harm your brain. Natural supplements like melatonin, the calming herb ashwagandha, chamomile tea, or the right form of magnesium can be incredibly effective. These are healthy habits that support your body's natural rhythms instead of fighting against them, contributing to your overall well-being. If you need something a bit stronger from your doctor for sleep, there are excellent prescription options too. For example, a medication. Like trazodone has minimal to no anticholinergic effects and is very effective for helping people get restful sleep without the associated cognitive risks. It's about finding the right tool for the job, one that enhances your quality of life without taking away from it in other areas. This is what smart healthcare looks like. What about those pesky allergies? The key here is to lean into the newer, second-generation antihistamines. Drugs like Zyrtec, Claritin, or Allegra are your best friends. While they are still technically antihistamines, they were specifically designed to have minimal penetration into the brain and central nervous system. This means they are far less likely to cause those dangerous anticholinergic side effects, protecting your brain while still managing your symptoms. And for those dealing with bladder control issues, the conversation with Dr. Henry is paramount. If you're on a drug like oxybutynin, the generic name for Ditropan, you should absolutely ask about non-anticholinergic options. A medication called mirabegron, which goes by the brand name Mirbatric, works through a completely different mechanism and is a much safer long-term choice for preserving cognitive health and your treasured independence. If irritable bowel syndrome is your issue and you've been prescribed something like Bentyl, it's time for that same conversation. There are other paths to explore. Something as simple as peppermint oil capsules has been shown in studies to be very effective for some people. For others, Dr. Henry can explore different prescription medications that don't carry the anticholinergic burden, tailoring the treatment to your specific type of IBS. Now, if you're listening to all of this and feeling a wave of panic because you've been on these drugs for years, please take a deep breath. You do not need to panic. The past is the past. What matters is what you do now. You can start optimizing your brain health today by focusing on the pillars of a vibrant life, getting regular, restorative sleep and incorporating joyful exercise into your routine. This is a journey of empowerment. It's a lot to take in, I know. If you're finding this helpful, perhaps you could share your thoughts in the comments below. It really helps our community of seniors connect and support one another. Knowing you're not alone in this makes a world of difference as we all strive for better health and more happiness in our golden years. Every small step matters immensely. Beyond just avoiding certain drugs, the bigger picture is about actively reversing other risk factors that contribute to cognitive decline and dementia. This is where your power truly lies. By focusing on your nutrition, you can work to reverse things like insulin resistance. By staying active with regular exercise, you can manage high blood pressure and improve your heart health. All of these things are profoundly protective for your brain. These healthy habits are the cornerstones. To have true longevity, it's not just about living longer, it's about living better, with a mind that is sharp, a body that is able, and a spirit that is full of joy. Each healthy meal, each walk in the park, each good night's sleep is an investment in your future self, a deposit in the bank of your well-being. This is how we build a life defined by vitality, not just by age. Think of it as tending to a garden. You have to pull the weeds, in this case the harmful medications, but you also have to actively water and fertilize the plants you want to grow. Your brain is the most beautiful and complex garden you will ever own. Nurturing it with good nutrition and consistent exercise is the most loving thing you can do for yourself, ensuring a future filled with clarity and purpose. The journey to healthy aging is a marathon, not a sprint. It's made up of thousands of small, conscious decisions that we make every single day. The choice to question a medication, the choice to go for a walk, the choice to eat a healthier meal. They all add up. They weave together to create a beautiful tapestry of a life lived with intention and a focus on maintaining a superb quality of life for as long as possible. Remember that you are in the driver's seat of your own health journey. Information like this isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to empower you. It gives you the map you need to navigate the often confusing world of healthcare and make choices that align with your deepest desire, to live a long, happy and independent life. You have the power to change your trajectory starting right now. This is about more than just avoiding dementia. It's about embracing a lifestyle that promotes overall vitality. It's about waking up each morning feeling clear-headed and energetic, ready to engage with the world and the people you love. That feeling is the true prize. It's the essence of happiness and the ultimate goal of all our efforts toward healthy aging. It's the freedom to be fully you. Let's shift our focus from passively accepting our health to actively creating it. Let's get curious, let's ask questions. Let's challenge the status quo. By taking control of these small but significant factors, we can profoundly influence our own longevity and ensure that our later years are our best years, filled with richness, connection, and an unwavering sense of self. This conversation is so incredibly important because it touches on the very core of what it means to age with dignity and grace. It's about protecting our memories, our personalities, and our ability to connect with our loved ones. It's about ensuring that the person we are on the inside can continue to shine brightly on the outside, unburdened by preventable cognitive decline. So please take this information to heart. Have that conversation with Dr. Henry. Review what's in your medicine cabinet. It's one of the most significant acts of self-care you can perform. This is your life and your brain, and they are worth protecting with every tool at your disposal. This is how we build a future where seniors are not just living longer but thriving. We are all in this together, a community of individuals dedicated to making the most of every precious day. The choices we make impact not only ourselves but also inspire those around us. By prioritizing our cognitive health, we set an example for our children and grandchildren, showing them that aging can be a process of continuous growth and sustained well-being. So as we wrap up, I want you to feel a sense of hope and control. You now possess knowledge that can genuinely change the course of your life. This isn't about fear, it's about freedom. The freedom to choose safer paths, to build healthier habits, and to actively participate in crafting a future that is bright, clear, and full of possibilities for happiness and adventure. I truly hope this conversation has been helpful and has illuminated a path forward for you. The goal is always to provide you with the information you need to live your very best life, full of health and vitality. Every day is a new opportunity to invest in your well-being, and every small change can lead to magnificent results over time. Your active mind is your greatest treasure. What is one small step you feel inspired to take after watching this? I would be so honored if you shared your thoughts in the comments below. Your story could be the spark of inspiration that someone else needs to see today. And please don't forget to subscribe and click that little notification bell so you don't miss our next video, where we'll explore another powerful habit for your longevity. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It means the world. Keep taking care of your wonderful self, stay curious, and remember that you have so much power to shape your own journey of healthy aging. Now go ahead and click on the next video I've prepared for you on the screen. It's packed with more tips to help you on your path to incredible well-being.